It's Coffee on the Vid, back at it, man. And one of the dopest TV series currently running has returned back to TV, man. The Boys, season 4. Everyone, jump in the comments and let me know if you're a fan of this show. I mean, I was hooked right off the rip. What an interesting concept. As superhero movies, all the Marvel movies and stuff. It's wild. I did a video yesterday talking about Spider-Man, right? We know all this stuff from Avengers, Marvel, DC, all this stuff has hit the big screen in many different incarnations. And then there's just been a lot of TV shows as well, prequels, sequels, stuff in alternate timeline, canon storylines and stuff like that. And with The Boys, I felt right away from watching it that they just took the whole superhero storylines, mixing it in a more real life way, which is what a lot of these other superhero movies and shows that I speak of, did try to make it a more current real life timeline storyline. You guys get what I'm saying? Like what it would really be like if superheroes existed, getting more out of the fantasy and more into real life. And The Boys did it in a way like where it was just high octane, high action, no flux given, just turned up to the maximum. I mean, right away when you turn on the first episode of the show, someone gets ran right through. Dude's girlfriend just gets obliterated by A-Train, and we're brought right into this storyline how all these different civilians are out to get to this Vought company and expose them and show how instead of really being good and standing for good, that they're just a evil corporate entity that's exploiting everything on a political level, going all the way up to the food chain to POTUS and even CIA stuff and things of that nature. I mean, it's just a dope show. It's gripping and you can't help but get caught up in the mix, wanting to see what's next. One of those shows that you can just get lost in, binge watch, and I highly recommend it for anyone out there who hasn't watched the show. Everyone who has, comment your favorite seasons, characters, just different thoughts on the show and whatnot. But with season 4 jumping off, a lot of stuff seems to feel a little bit different. First off, I think I might need to go back and re-watch season 3 because the trial kicking off season 4, the not guilty verdict for Homelander, I'm a little bit fuzzy on some of the stuff that led up to that whole situation. But I thought it was pretty cool the way they, tapped into current day stuff, art imitating life, life imitating art and all that with, political groups going against each other. We're getting back to election season and all the drama we see on social media with that's bled into everyone's real life. As I spoke about many times, that families have broke up fighting over political stuff. Family members don't talk to each other anymore since some years back that this political stuff has got heated on this level. Comment anyone out there if you've seen that with your own family, friends, anything like that. I'm intrigued to know about it. But they took that and put that into this whole storyline where you got the home teamers, the people that support Homelander and Starlighters or whatever they are, beefing and going at it, and rallies and people fighting in the streets and stuff like that is a pretty interesting element, to the show kicking off season 4. But something else, I'm like, when did this happen? When did the Frenchie guy become rainbowed out? Gay. I really don't remember that all. Maybe that was something I missed. Once again, I said maybe I got to go back and rewatch season 3. I thought I was pretty up on the show, but somehow I missed that. Or maybe if that's what it was, they're just giving it a lot more screen time and forcing it into the main storyline in this season, which I've seen that be something that a lot of people have spoke about in the past, that a lot of writers, a lot of hit shows, certain situations, and I'm not just even speaking on the rainbow timing, just certain stuff gets felt like it's forced into shows at time. Take it for what you will. It is what it is. What are you going to do? What are you going to say? But also something else that seemed wild different. And I couldn't quite put my finger on it at first. The character Mother's Milk, portrayed by actor Laz Alonso. As I was watching these first episodes, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Something just seems a bit different with dude. Like, is that the same guy? You know, he just looked way different. And then I was talking to one of my bros who watches the show faithfully, and he was like, yeah, man, I peeped the same thing. He said, yo, dude looks way different, like he lost a lot of weight, like maybe he's sick or something. And then after a quick Google, oh yeah, and my bro said maybe he used to be juicing or something like that, and he just dropped a lot of weight. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Sometimes people lose weight too fast, like they got a lap band surgery or something like that, and it just comes off looking very unnatural. I'm not saying it's that far, that intense with the way dude looks, but he just looked very different. And then after Googling, I come to see me and the homie ain't the only ones that noticed this. There's a lot of articles out there where they're saying, no, they didn't recast this guy. That's the same actor. He just shaved his face. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, yeah, a haircut and a shave can make an individual look different, but that ain't all we're talking about here. Like, homie looks like a whole different dude. And, you know, upon further research, I guess dude's been trying to shed some weight for years. That back in the day when he was coming up, you know what I mean? He got super motivated to get brolic, as most of his friends were bigger dudes working out or whatever. And he was like $155. And I can relate to that. I've always been somewhat of a skinny individual myself. I might throw on 20 pounds or drop it here and there throughout certain times in my life. But I never like leveled up and got that big where I looked, you know, totally unrecognizable. You know what I'm saying? And that's what upon a lot of these interviews, it sounds like dude did was, you know, hit the weight room heavy, obsessed with getting brolic. I don't know if maybe he was juicing or not. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Some individuals take that shortcut, some don't. To each their own. I ain't knocking nobody, but at some certain point in time, I guess dude decided he didn't want to be big anymore. So apparently that's been a mission he's been on, is trying to slim back down. And here we are now in season 4, just between 3 and 4. He just, you know, came in the mix looking totally transformed, like a whole nother person. It was like interesting to see though that so many other people felt this way as well, you know. But whatever anyone's doing out there, whether you're trying to get brolic, whether you're trying to get in better shape, whether you're trying to shed pounds, however you do it, you know, make sure you do it a safe way. Even if you are taking shortcuts, not that I'm encouraging anyone to do such a thing, but if you do, you know what I mean, be safe. And then, you know, the last up as far as the main characters outside of the superheroes, as even though the superheroes are the main characters of a show in a sense, they're almost kind of like B characters at times. And, you know, it's that whole storyline element of, are they really heroes or villains and all that? You know, our main characters are really what the boys were real life, right? They would be considered vigilantes, those civilians all out, once again, to try to expose Vought, bring down all the soups. The last one I haven't really addressed is Huey, who, when the show kicks off, is the main character. Of course, you got Butcher as well, but that's something else that really kind of makes this show dope as well, is that all the characters, in my opinion, get a lot of screen time and really get their story told and, you know, have a lot to do with everything moving forward. So far, 3 episodes in, Huey just kind of been at the hospital dealing with family business with his pops in a coma, and Ma Dukes showing up after she walked out on the family, you know, and announced that she has power of attorney. So I don't know. That's about all I got regarding this show, season 4. I'm not sure if this is, I don't think this is the last season, right? I'm not sure. It's a pretty dope show. I'd like to keep it, see it keep running. But it does feel a bit different this season. But 3 episodes in, what is a season normally, 8 or 10 episodes. I mean, we're almost kind of creeping up on the halfway mark. So much more could happen. You know, we don't really know what's in store for us, but it's just kind of feeling somewhat of a transitional season, a very important season, in my opinion. Comment out there if you know what I'm talking about with certain TV series, right? That, you know, some of the best shows ever, or pretty much every show, I think there's a season where things just start to feel a little different. And, you know, it's really on the creators of the show to keep it fresh and to keep coming with intriguing, interesting storylines, but at the same time, not getting away from the original plot points and what the show is about, and not losing the integrity of the show as far as what the core audience and, you know, fans really tune in for. Like, comment if you guys feel me on that with every show, it seems like when you see or hear individuals talking about some of the greatest bingeable shows or most popular shows of all time, right? Like serious dramas and such, it always feels like there's a season where people say, yeah, after season such and such, ish wasn't really the same, or it kind of lost its steam, or things just got a little bit too outlandish. I'm not saying that's what's happening with The Boys, but I just am saying it feels like this could be that pivotal season. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I got. Just curious to see what everyone else out there who watches the show has to say. Drop it in the comments. Stay tuned for updates. Subscribe to the channel. We talk a lot of different topics over here, and it's always about hearing from what the people got to say. So once again, hit them buttons. Don't be shy in the comments. Let's talk. It's Coffee signing out. Peace.